$175,000 in rental income in 1 month. This is how much this rental property promises to generate. And in today's video, we're gonna take a deep dive, look into the numbers, and see if what promises to generate, it's even worth holding on to an investment of this type. Welcome to Nova Rice, your channel for financial education. In here, we talk about investments in real estate, investments in the stock market, in precious metals, and small businesses. So here is the property, and no, I was not making it up. It is located in one of the most expensive zip codes in the country, and it is 165. That's the zip code, and this property is listed for $175,000 a month. It is a rental, and yes, there are people who have the capital to afford this type of lifestyle. Now, let's take a look at the floor breakdown just to get an idea of what it has to offer, right? So there's a total of 7 floors. They claim it's 6 in this diagram because they're not counting the basement. But let's face it, it's extra space that we're getting. So starting up with the basement, there's access to a recreational room. And then I don't know what these 2 rooms are for. And in fact, I did not see any pictures. And there's the laundry in here. Pretty spacious for a basement. Then when we move on to the first floor, that's the street level. That's the foyer when you first walk into the house. There is a nice closet in the area, and then an additional closet, and then there's a gallery area. You tell me, what would you be using that area? Would it be for sitting furniture, or would it be just for display? We'll see in the pictures later. And there's a bathroom in there, and there's an eating kitchen over here with access to a courtyard. Now, when you move up another floor, that will place you on the 2nd floor. And there's a living room in here, and there's a formal dining room at the other end. And all of this it's more of an open space with staircases that we will see in a few, how nice and fancy that looks. And let's see if we can actually take some ideas for those who are actually doing any type of house renovation or any flippings. And then moving on to the 3rd floor, that's where we start seeing the bedrooms. So we have a primary bedroom over here. There's a space that they use for the library, but I mean, it could also be used as an additional bedroom if needed, although this house has plenty of bedrooms, as we can see. There's a total of 8 bedrooms, 10 baths, and a total of 18,400 square feet in that house. Then moving on to the 4th floor, we have a bedroom over here. We have additional bedrooms and a home office. Although nowadays we find more and more couples working from home in their different offices. And so I wouldn't be surprised that one of these rooms can actually be used as a additional home office, right? Now, moving on to the next floor, we see another bedroom with its own bathroom. All the bedrooms, they look like they have their own bathrooms. So that's great, perfect for entertainment and for your guests. And once you go into the top floor, you have a lounge area that's actually covered, and then access to a outdoor space for you to enjoy the rooftop all year long. Now, let's just move on to the pictures of the house in itself. So we have quite a grandiose entry with intricate details, the entrance. And once you walk into the house, this is the first view you're going to see. So no furniture laying around, but, you know, quite luxurious, I must say. Not necessarily modern, in my opinion, but you can tell that these are expensive touches. And so moving along to the rest of the house, we have more empty space, not necessarily filled with furniture, but I guess you can place a sitting area right here where you wait and make it more comfortable. There's the light fixtures over here, nice and simple, yet this light fixture looks like it could cost up there in the thousands, right? And so all of these little details will add up to the finishing touches that will justify this amount of rent. And you let me know if you believe this rental justifies an asking rent of $175,000, okay? And so we have a view up to the higher floors with the nice rails over here, although in my opinion a little antiquated, but again, to each their own. everybody has different tastes and we don't necessarily have to agree. The kitchen I really like. It doesn't feel like it's extremely modern, but it has that industrial feel, which I personally like a lot in kitchens. The ceiling looks like they're quite up there. And I love the entry door over here. And again, with the lights fixtures, it looks like this could be up in a couple of thousands as well. And here is a different view of the kitchen, nice and fancy. And then another view over here with access to an outdoor area and more floors. And then more floors and nice light fixtures. But I like the fact that all staircases, they allow you to see into the first floors in a nice and open way and not just a bunch of staircases, right? And additional light fixtures. This is quite nice and symmetrical. And here is one of the many rooms that they have here. And yet, once again, you let me know if you find this decoration to justify the asking rent of $175,000 a month. Quite a fancy light fixture over here as well. And then from a different angle, what I do like is the windows. The windows are quite high, quite up there. And I love the fact that there's a lot of natural light flowing in. Here is what looks like a bar, I believe. I haven't read the captions yet, and I'm more of a visual person in here. Then we have another room over here, and then another room with a fireplace, and tons of windows, and another room. It looks like each of these rooms has their own character. This looks like it's a walk-in closet, and leading into a bathroom. The bathroom is not necessarily my taste, although I must say it's different. It doesn't really look quite modern, although it does have some modern touches like here and the faucets over here. And I actually like the towel that it's on the floor, but overall it's not quite my taste, but it's nice. It's nice to look at. Then we have tons of storage. This looks like it could be the library from the shelves that I'm seeing over here. And more space over here. There is another bathroom or a bar. I'm not quite sure what that is. But anyhow, let's just keep looking. Nice and bright. I like the staircases. And here is an additional room and additional light fixture. Although this one does look a little outdated. But remember, it's not so much the fixtures in itself. Yes, it does add to the finishing touches, but it's more about the location, right? Location. And it is located in one of the most expensive zip codes in the US. This bathroom over here, I like it because it's bright. You can tell there's a lot of natural lighting that comes in here. There's a tub, but there's also a shower head. And this looks like a very expensive shower head. And it's not quite modern, but at the same time, it's pretty. And for those who didn't know, these type of tile work, the smaller they are, the harder it is to carve them. And so that means that a lot of money went into this. Lots and lots of expensive finishing touches. And so we have this over here, another room, quite spacious, bright, lots of natural light. I love it. And we're up until the last floor. And let's see what they got. So this is the den or the indoor entertainment area. And then as you look at it from a different angle, you can actually see access to the outdoor places. And then here is one of the outdoor places with access to a fireplace for those who want to enjoy New York City all year long, regardless of the cold. And then this is access to another outdoor area from another angle. And the beautiful tall buildings that are iconic of New York City. And another angle right here and another angle. And this is from the very top looking down the stairs. As you can see, as we keep going down the floors, the light starts dissipating. And so I guess it's a nice to have all the lights flow into the different floors. And then this looks like it's an elevator that will take you through the different floors. And additional lighting. Now, the moment of truth. Is this property worth the investment? I know it promises to generate $175,000, but let's see what the numbers look like. How much does it cost to invest in a property like this or to even maintain a property like this? Are you generating cash flow or are you just simply bleeding money out of your pocket? Let's take a look. So in order to make it a fair comparison, I went in and I look at another property in the area in the same zip code with similar square footage. This one is sitting at 18,000, while the first place we looked at was sitting at 18,400 square feet, right? And so this one is for sale. This one is for rent, asking $175,000 a month. And this one is for sale, asking $39.5 million. It has a total of 7 bedrooms and 12 baths. 8 of them are actually full baths, and then 4 of them are half baths. And of course, right from the get-go, we're going to see that the decoration is definitely not the same. Although I'm not going to go through all the pictures. I'm just going to give you a sneak peek because this is not really the main focus of this episode, although it's quite a nice eye candy to enjoy, right? So as you can see right from the get-go, the decoration is quite different. It's a lot more classic, and it has more finishing touches, so to speak. I will say that this type of decoration is not everyone's cup of tea, although it is there, to each their own. But you can start seeing the differences, although you can tell that a lot of money went into decorating this place, starting just with the details in the ceiling, right? Let's not even mention the furniture. And so, yes, quite out there. To my opinion, this looks more like a museum than a house. But once again, to each their own, right? But the main focus I want to bring your attention to, it's here. At a $39.5 million investment, how much are the monthly payments looking like? Yes, maybe if you have that kind of money, some people might consider buying this property cash. But remember, the way the rich work is that they don't necessarily take all of their cash and they just park it in one place, hoping for the best. They like to diversify. So in my view, in my opinion, and feel free to disagree down in the comment section, but I don't think that even if they have the money, they will go in and just put all the money in and just purchase the property. They'll probably will want to diversify their funds, use part of it to buy this house and then invest the rest to, keep making money. So under this assumption, I'm just going to assume that they're going to buy with a mortgage just like everyone else. And right from the get-go, you can see on the estimated monthly payment that whoever gets to put their hands on a property like this to put it in the market for rent will not only lose money, but will be bleeding money out of their pocket. Because at $253,000, $686, and you're generating $175,000, we're talking that you're going to be in the negative by $78,686 when you add all of these numbers combined. So in my opinion, this is not even up for debate. This could be worth a person's yearly salary. So I find this to be a lot of money to be wasting. But hey, who knows? Maybe they have a tax strategy and they're using these piece of investment as a way to create some tax deductions, or hey, maybe they inherit this property. But just to continue further down, just to break down the numbers, here is how the principal and interest will look like with a purchase of $39.5 million. This is how much your down payment is going to be, and this will be your rate, right? Which it looks fairly comparable to current market standards. This is how much your property taxes are going to be for a property like this. And this is how much your home insurance will come out to be, adding up to a total monthly payment of $253,686, which will put you at a terrible loss if you were to take your property and put it up in the market for rent. So the lesson of the story is to not let the rental income completely blind you. Yes, paying attention to rental income, it's great, but when it comes to analyzing a property for investment or even for you to buy, you also have to understand the underlying costs that you will need to incur to not only buy that piece of property, but also to maintain it in the long run. And in the numbers that I share, I'm not even talking about property management, which I'm sure you know that if you put it up for rent, you will probably have to hire someone to, give the service that the family that's renting that property deserves to get. Now, if you're in the market looking to buy property, I invite you to check out this video that's going to tell you everything you should pay attention to when it comes to the type of properties to not buy this year. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.